Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Comic Book Lowdown. I'm Wellington. Today I'm going to be doing a trade paperback review on Spider-Man Noir. This is just this collects Spider-Man Noir issues 1 through 4. That's the whole thing. It's just a short thing that came out. And the people that write on this is David Hine with Fabrice Sapolsky and art by Carmine di Giandomenico. Or Domenico, kind of hard name to say, but anyways, just getting right into it. This story is it takes place in the 1930s, so definitely changing scenery for all the Spider-Man characters and everything, and it does give a short origin throughout this, but just the layout of how this story starts. It actually starts with a very important part of the story is the first thing that happens, and then you follow Ben Urich throughout the most of the rest of the story, and so you figure that the way the story started and then seeing Ben Urich, that's the way that the story then flows as if it's in a linear pattern, but actually this story does a pretty good job of letting you know that, or not giving away that this is not how the story is laid out linearly, if that's even a word. In reality, it shows this crucial scene where Spider-Man has a gun and he's in J. Jonah Jameson's office, and the police burst in, and J. Jonah's just shot. He's got bullets and blood coming out, and Spider-Man is caught by the police right in his office, and then he escapes and he gets grazed by one of the bullets and all this kind of stuff, and then it goes right into Ben Urich. Later you find out that that's not how the events happened, because Ben Urich gets shot by someone who looks like J. Jonah Jameson, or that you're led to believe is J. Jonah Jameson. There's gonna have spoilers in it already. There is. I just want to tell you guys how the story goes and what it's about. I thought it was pretty good. Just telling you guys that. To get on it a little bit though, the art in some places and some of the action places where there's a lot going on, especially at the end in the last issue. It was kind of hard to tell what was going on. Maybe that's just because I got this from the public library and it's a little bit faded, the pages, or maybe that's just how the art is. This is a really gritty book. The art reminds me a lot of Spider-Man Reign. It's good art, but it's not necessarily the kind of art that I look for in a book, but it does work with the tone of the story, so I do give it that. But back to the story, Peter Parker in this is like really bitter. Of course, his Uncle Ben was killed. He's actually killed by not just a mugger or anything like that, but the Vulture ate him. The Vulture ate Uncle Ben, and Ben Urich was there watching. And so really, in this New York City, it's almost like Gotham City pretty much, because everybody's corrupt. Everybody's working under the Goblin, Norman Osborn, and just everybody's bought off except for the press. And even Ben Urich works in a way for the Goblin, even though he doesn't want to. But he does get some kind of paychecks, and he does keep the Goblin secrets safe, so the Goblin can continue running New York. But so the origin happens. Spider-Man gets bit by the spider because he was kind of lurking around a warehouse where some deal was going down, or some kind of criminal activity done by the Goblin, and not the Goblin, but his associates. and everybody under the Goblin, and so just a huge crate of spiders got broke, and one of them happened to land on Peter, and he got bit. That's where he got his spider powers from. Because this is such a short story, the origin is passed over very quick, so I'm not going to get on the whole origin that much because it is a very quick origin. It's kind of like, if you blink an eye, you'll miss it. It happens very fast, and he comes to grips with his powers very quickly. But that's because it's such a short story. Some of the main characters throughout this, of course, Peter Parker, Ben Urich, J. Jonah Jameson, the Goblin, the Vulture is a big character, Kraven the Hunter's a big character, Chameleon plays a good role in this, very important role. Aunt May, her character, she's not a quiet, old lady. She's very open. She's always on her soapbox preaching to the poor people, because this isn't a Great Depression time. She's preaching to the poor people about how everybody needs rights and all that kind of stuff. So she's very vocal in this story. Felicia Hardy owns a speakeasy, those outlawed bars when Prohibition was going on. It's called the Black Cat, so just a reference there. And I think that's about everybody that plays an important role. Yeah, that's just about everybody. Peter's very bitter, like I said earlier, about Uncle Ben's death, and he does use guns in this. And this is definitely a different Spider-Man. This is not with great power comes great responsibility Spider-Man, but he does get a lesson, and by the end of this, he learns about how to really exact justice if you're going to do it outside of the law. And so he does it, but he learns from Aunt May. And that's a really good scene. I'm not gonna totally spoil everything in this. There'll be mild spoilers. I'm not gonna spoil how he learns and when he learns that with great power comes great responsibility, because that is a very important part in this book, and it's very well written, that scene. But besides that, there's not much else to say. There's good character things that happen throughout this. The story moves along quite well. Like I said, the art really works for the tone in this story, and the cover art, the covers for each of the books they display, they're pretty good. Here's the cover to number 1, and just some of the art in this is like some pages. Here's the first page. Well, actually, no, that's not the first page. That's one of the first pages. That's the second page. And that's what I was talking about with Spider-Man being caught with Jameson's, bullet-riddled body. Yeah, this is a good story. I'd recommend it. The price on it is $14.99. If you could just get it from a library, I would probably do that, because I personally don't think that it should be $15 just for 4 issues. Just a 4-issue story. It's kind of steep money. I put it at maybe $10. But besides that, if you're a Spider-Man fan, you definitely want to pick this up, because it's a totally new outlook and totally new story for Spider-Man. Totally new. Everything that you know of Peter Parker and Spider-Man and traditional Spider-Man stories is not present in this book, Well, maybe a little bit, but a lot of it is a lot of this is original stuff. So definitely, if you want to see that, definitely want to get this. At least read it somehow. Just some extra stuff in the back that has some variant covers. Some of them are actually the same that they used in this trade. Some of them are a little different, like these two. The variant cover. And they have some character designs for Spider-Man. They have it for Spider-Man, Felicia Hardy, and Norman Osborn. But really the Spider-Man ones are the ones that are really interesting. Here was one design. This design I actually like a little more than the design that they went with. But I understand more why they went with the design that they went with. But I really just like that design right there. I think it's really good. Some other designs on the next page. Got a little bit of a Rorschach look with a hat, trench coat, and the final design that they went with is at the bottom right there. The real difference is in the goggles that he uses. Yeah, so there's you should pick up this book if you want to read a good Spider-Man story. It's short, it's a quick read. And yeah, so I definitely recommend this. Like I said, maybe pick it up from a library or something, because it is a little bit more expensive than, at least for me, than I would want to buy it for. But of course, if you love Spider-Man and love collecting Spider-Man, definitely pick it up. It's a good story. Anyways, so that's my review on Spider-Man Noir. I'm signing off with a comic book lowdown, and I'll see you guys next time.